Okay, boys. So on, when was it? Wednesday, I completed the Net Plus exam and I passed. Oh, and then Friday rolled around and I was planning on doing this video then, but that didn't happen because there was something else that I wanted to do instead to make sure I had it uploaded in time for Monday to roll around, and so that's why Friday's video ended up being what it was. And then there were some other stuff for Monday that, I had planned and what all, or potentially, because I'm recording this before Monday happens, but after Friday. So we'll see what Monday has. This may be a Monday, but more than likely Wednesday video, so it would be technically last week when you're watching it, but it's still Wednesday from my standpoint, and Friday from my standpoint. Yes, time travel. But anyway, Network Plus, kind of some things still, like getting kind of the idea and landscape of what the exam would look like. I kind of looked around, like people talked about, you got to have ports, this, that, and the other. And of course, like it was some of the stuff that I didn't quite expect. People are like, port numbers, memorize those, subnetting, memorize that. And I didn't get too much of the subnetting or port number questions. It's kind of like when I did the A+, and what's the word? People were talking about port numbers or printer questions, actually, and I didn't get too many of those, which was weird. But each question pool is going to be slightly different. So, and then what was it? I only got, how many questions was it? I think it was like 70. No, I think it was actually 80 questions. Maybe. Might have been 75. I think it was 80. But, yeah. Kind of seemed pretty simple. I did pass with a 750, so that's 30 above the, no pass line. But I basically followed the same, regimen that I did for the A+, both of them. Basically, that was kind of study up in it. I went through Cybrary's video course. I went through Professor Messer, and then, the Cybex study book as well, or review book, rather. And which basically organizes everything by the objective that you're studying. So you go through, you get an objective topic, and then it covers that thing. So it gives you the objective name and what it is, and then done. So basically, Professor Messer says at least look over the objectives and things like that, and that's really important. I didn't do that as well as I could have, which I probably will for Security Plus, but the next thing is, again, if you've watched previously, basically what I did is I studied basically up until, and I made sure that I had everything fresh on my mind the day or two before, so that when I went in, I had a rest, but I had everything fresh somewhere in the back of my mind on the material. So content is there, and I'd been through the content the third time by the time I'd finished that last wrap through again. So I was doing a spaced repetition system in essence with the different materials. And then, of course, the day of, I basically ran a couple Professor Messer study groups while being distracted at the same time. So I would have the questions going through, and then going through the questions, I would have the mentality of how they're going to ask it, which is a really important thing, again, that I will re-stress, is you want to find, if you're doing practice tests, which I would recommend, find practice tests that follow the questioning methodology that CompTIA uses so that you are not getting sidelined by them coming out with a wacky question at you every time. Then it doesn't feel like a surprise. So one of the other things too is I had a spring break somewhere in between, and so I did a little bit of studying over that break, watching Professor Messer's stuff, but other than that, for about half of it, I did like nothing at all touching it. So I had done one practice exam before leaving on break, and then I did like 2 more after, and basically the reason for that was because I kind of wanted to see where I was at after the break in spite of like not studying. And it's like, okay, I wasn't too far below that passing line, so I felt pretty good about it. And then I like was able to bump it up a little bit. Then I went through the library materials and it bumped it up by a bit more when I did another practice run through the day before actually doing the test. So practice exams are good for having a litmus test and practicing understanding the question methodology. So that's where practice exams should come in. And also reviewing performance-based questions, if you can like get your hands on dumps, those are really helpful. Even if they're for like older tests, it doesn't cover the exact same material, but it does get you in the mindset of understanding how they ask questions. And sometimes you'll find old questions, even performance-based questions, that are in some dump repositories that are used in the exam when you actually take it. So there's that. So exam dumps can be like a really interesting tool to use, especially when you get a question that is exactly what they were looking for in your actual test. So I will leave that as it stands. And yeah, that's basically my Network Plus experience. Down the road, Security Plus, and you'll hear from me again after that. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.